Ain't going nowhere. Gotta tighten it, Paul. Right there. Love it. All right, guys, we got another good one for you this morning. Let's get the bags on. Got a nice Tesla charger installation, 60 amp universal Tesla charger. All right, so first thing I want to look at here is we need space. So what the customer told me is that they're actually not using this 50 amp breaker here. So we're gonna swap this out with a 60. The Tesla universal charger uses a 60 amp breaker. You can use smaller breakers if you need to derate it because of the load on the panel. But for this house, he's good with a 60 amp breaker. One thing that I want to do here is we are going to move this breaker up to this empty slot here. These breakers with the car chargers, I've noticed, get really warm. So I don't like any other breakers, and you can't do this in every panel because sometimes it's completely jam-packed and there's no room. But we have the ability to move this breaker up here and leave this as a blank slot right here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put a 60, 2-pole 60 here, and then move this one up to that spot. And then we already just started it. You can see the hole's already drilled. We're gonna come straight out the back, and we want to mount the Tesla charger to a stud. Okay, so we're gonna drill out the drywall on the back side. And as always, consult a licensed electrician to do this work, right?
Yeah.
Do not do this on your own. You don't wanna be getting your hands in here. I have a video on the channel of what happens if you make a mistake in a main electrical panel. Paul was there, He saw what happened. My hand was not pretty after the panel blew up. So if you want to check out that video, you can. But yeah, we're going to go straight out the back. You got any questions, Paul?
No.
All right, let's handle it.
Could I use your strippers?
Here.
Since I didn't bring my tools.
You didn't bring your tools? What happened? You left them in your truck?
Yeah, I broke down.
There you go. You can use my strippers, Paul. There's the charger, Tesla universal wall connector. All right, so we drill our hole. We got 3/4 inch and 1/8 hole saw for our 3/4 inch conduit. Gotta tighten it, Paul. Paul already cleared out the other side to make sure we didn't hit anything. So these breakers all right here. See how there's 2 black marks on there? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And these ones, you don't have the double. That means that only the bottoms can be tandems. So you cannot put a tandem breaker in this upper slot. So we're gonna have to just leave it on this one. It's fine, it's just lighting circuits.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned with it here. Where I'd be really concerned is if it was right next to a solar breaker, right? Or if it was right next to an oven or something else that gets really warm. That's what we don't want. So we're gonna go ahead and leave it on this one. Let's get this bad boy opened up. Tesla gives a really nice template. We've done so many of these though, we don't really need to use it, but this is super helpful. Definitely make sure you follow manufacturer's recommendations with torque specs and everything for the charger. So make sure you torque down your connections. There we go, that pulls off the back just like that. So we already have this set up here. We know we have a stud right about here. So we're gonna hit this knockout right here. We'll drill that out and then we'll get this thing screwed up to the wall. Yeah, so we're gonna do bottom left. Make sure you don't get shavings in there like I did. Probably vacuum that out to make sure it's nice and clean. We use a little 3/4 inch nipple, and I'm gonna have all the materials in the description if you wanna pick up any of these, just so you know exactly what you need to buy. It's 3/4 inch by 1 inch nipple, so this one works great for these panels. If you need to go a little bit bigger, just kind of go at an angle. Make sure you don't go all the way through it. We have it just a little bit bigger of a hole. I don't know if this one's gonna be long enough, Paul. Oh, it is. Yeah, go. All right, let's make sure we tighten it down. And there it is. Just like that, we'll put a lock ring on it and tighten it up. You got one more lock ring, Paul? As you can see here, I have just enough threads coming through. I don't want to have a whole bunch of threads coming into this Tesla charger because I don't want anything catching an edge. And we don't want it sticking like way in there, you know? All right, so then we just want to lock this thing in. Not too tight, but it definitely needs to be snug. So because the panel is right on the other side, I think we're gonna need to hit the 2 left screws instead of the center ones to make sure that we get into that stud. As I said before, you need to make sure you're in a stud. Over time, using this thing, taking the cable off, putting it back on, taking it off, You don't want to not be into a stud. Drywall anchors are not enough, in my opinion. Go grab that torquing screwdriver out of the truck real quick.
Okay.
Because we're gonna pull this wire in quick. Doesn't need to be anything crazy for the screws, but we definitely want it to hold. So I think I am gonna use the long ones right there. Now, so it doesn't pull off the wall. Once I start the screw, I back it up. You're gonna need a lot of pressure to do this. And you wanna blow out the hole. You can do a preliminary. Now, another thing to keep in mind, okay? A lot of guys, they wanna use number 6 Romex for EV chargers. The problem is, if you look in the code, the ampacity for a number 6 Romex is only 55 amps. It's not rated at the full 60 amps that you need. So you cannot use number 6 Romex if you're doing 60 amps. If you're derating the charger, let's say you're gonna derate it to 50 amps because that's what the load requires in the house, you can use the Romex if you do that. But for full 60 amps, you have to use THHN. Let's grab the other impact real quick. Look what we got set up in the van, guys. Blue Eddy, baby. 100% set up. We cleared out this whole spot. If you remember, it just had a bunch of wire and everything. It was ugly. So we took that out. Now we got our solar generator in the van. One of the next videos is gonna be putting the solar panel up on the roof and showing how to get this thing set up. One other thing you wanna look at when you start screwing the Tesla charger into the wall, obviously the electrical panel is right on the other side of this wall. So we know that there's a bunch of wires going up that go to the house. There also could be wires going down. So if we look here, typically you don't have wires going that way out the side of the panel or this way out the side. So we usually don't have to be worried about that, but you always want to check so that you're not sending a screw through the wall and you end up shorting out a circuit. All right, let's get this in. There we go. Thing ain't going nowhere. Here comes the wire. That's it. More than enough. So one thing to pay attention to is Tesla tells us exactly how we need to run the wires depending on where the conduit comes in. So this is the one that we're doing right here. We came right in the back, so we need to go up and over and down. And then they give us a little zip tie to get in there and to hold these wires. And there's a little clip, I don't know if you can see it right there. There's a little clip that the zip tie goes through to hold it back. So you wanna make sure that you do it exactly how they show so that there's no issues when you get inspection. The other thing is it shows right here, 50 inch-pounds of torque. Right here, they give us the special tip that we need to use. Use your torquing screwdriver. We use the Weehaw right there. Best one we've found out there. All right, so on here, you're gonna see you have L1 on the right, L2, and then your ground. So we wanna go black, then we wanna go red, then we wanna go green. The ground can be a number 10 ground. It does not have to be a number 6. So we have number 6, THHN L1, number 6, THHN L2, and number 10, THHN for the ground. Also in the bag is these 4 black screws. Do not lose these. These are for, once we have it wired up, we're gonna put the Tesla charger on there, and then you got 4 screws, one there, one there, one there, and one there. When you put them in, I'm gonna show you, you have to hold it in and get the screw to go in. Like I was saying, we're gonna go right here. Just like that. Get that bent, that's gonna go right there. There's our black. It's gonna go halfway in there, just like that. Strip the wire right here, pull it off, get our torquing screwdriver out. Let's double check our torque specs. 50 inch-pounds of torque, yep. All right, and we're set at 50 right there. Good to go. Let's go ahead and just loosen them all up. All right, so we get it in there, hold it in place the direction that we want it. I keep pressure down with my finger right here as we start tightening. I'm gonna try and have it to the center back. And I'll just get it snug to start. Get our next one right there. When you go to cut like this, make sure you don't score the wire. Just enough to get through the sheathing. L2 is next. Get it in there, hold it down, and in the center. Get it snug. There we go. And we do our ground. There and there. How's your weekend, bro? Good weekend. You go fishing?
No.
No fishing? Because your truck broke down?
Yeah.
Those Toyota Tacomas, you know? Just kidding.
I know.
I like those.
It's like the first problem I've had.
You've had that. That thing has been a reliable truck, dude.
11-year-old truck.
11 years old? Really? All right. Got it in there. Got it. Get the next one. Got it. Next one. Got it. Got the zip tie ready. Thank you. So that's what I was saying right here. The zip tie that they give you goes right through that little clip. Nice and neat together. There it is, guys. Nice and clean. We got black, red, green. Everything torqued down. Cleaned out. We're going to get the vacuum. Make sure there's nothing in here. And then we'll put the cover on. And Paul's doing the other side right now. You getting that in there, Paul?
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that one. Just like that. Did you say your fuel pump went out this weekend?
Yeah. Just
Bro.
turned off on me.
Got it at the shop. And did you leave your tools in the car?
I did.
Oh,
Hey, it was
okay.
Friday.
Hey, it was Friday. When you go to put it on, you want to take these 4 black screws and then the charger itself. Make sure that those contacts, nothing got in there, as well as in here. And we are good to go. So you can see those 2 pins right back in there. They land inside there. So it's hard to mess it up. Put it on like that. And you just get the screw. Put it in the top, this side as well. And as I was saying, you have to hold it into the wall and you'll see the screw kind of drop in place like that. Get snug, you don't need to go crazy tight with these. And that's it. Got it, guys. All right, good job, Paul. Is the other side done?
Yeah.
Ain't going nowhere. Very clean. All right, so Paul's got the breaker in. We got our hots, black and red, torqued down. Everything's good to go. The ground's landed back there. Let's go ahead and turn it on. And look at that. Nice and clean, ready to charge. Love it. That's it for this one, guys. Remember, 60 amp breaker, cannot use Romex, use THHN number 6, just like Tesla recommends. Torque down all your connections. And as always, if you need an electrician in the San Diego County area, feel free to give us a call. There's a link to my website. You can go to request services, fill out a form, and we'll get you on the list. Thanks so much. You guys have a great day.